Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, degens, drip, and farm for poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all Forex Shark related projects. And in today's video, I'm going to get into the secret garden strategy slash farm strategy, especially for non-whales. So there's one thing that most big bags and whales are doing, and there's another thing that I think the bulk of the people who don't fall in that category should be doing. So it's kind of a secret strategy. Forex hinted to it in the AMA. We're gonna play a clip from him, and then I'm gonna tell you how that plays out and why in this case, not swimming with the whales can benefit you. It's really up to you and your strategy, like long term. But first, let's play the clip from Forex. It's literally only 15 seconds. And it was just reference to a piece in this whole thing where OXRJ asked him what would he do for if he was a new person to the ecosystem, and Forex explained in about 4 minutes what he would do if he was brand new to DeFi, if he had some assets on the side, and then he drops some alpha regarding how the farms pay out. So let's take a listen at that.
The yield that's paid out in a farm or a pool is based on the saturation of that pool. So the more crowded a pool gets, or the more crowded a farm gets, the lower the APY is going to be in that farm or pool. And because the auto compounding dog pound is...
So let's play that one more time in case you missed it, and then we're gonna cover what that means.
Is because the yield that's paid out in a farm or a pool is based on the saturation of that pool. So the more crowded a pool gets, or the more crowded a farm gets, the lower the APY is going to be in that farm or pool. And because...
All right, so the yield that is paid out in a farm or pool is based on the saturation of the farm or pool. Now, what is everybody getting ready to do right now, and the go-to strategy? Don't get me wrong, this is what you should be doing in the long term. But if you don't have the bags, you're literally competing against the whales, and it doesn't do any good. So what everybody's doing right now is preparing their drip in BUSD. And yes, initially this may be a very high APY farm, but it's really going to be based on your position in this farm. And remember, the key that makes drip so different is this dynamic supply control algorithm, or dynamic emissions rate. When the demand for the token is strong and the token price is at an all-time high, the emission rate will set to 100% and will stay at this rate until the price does at least a 25% correction from all-time high. So what is that in layman's terms? Basically, if the demand for the PIGGY token is high, then this rate here will be set to maximal. If it drops by 25%, then it will correct and go down to PEG, then restricted, then deflationary. So what I'm saying is, if you do not have a bunch of drip BUSD LPs, or you don't have a big position, don't waste your time right now. Build your drip faucet bag, and I'm going to keep saying it, build your position in the garden. I know people are like, this makes no sense. Why would I do that? The garden's going down, yada, 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 contract balance, blah, blah, blah. But remember, people are pulling out of here. So if you can now build your position in it, you will be able to accumulate a larger share of the garden. They're pulling out so they can get into the farm. And if you can't compete in the farm, then smart play is to compete in the garden, build a position in the garden. I still can't pull up these analytics here, but remember, the garden contract balance is now down well below 500,000, and the pancake swap drip BUSD pool is up 50K from my video I did 3 days ago. Here's a video here, and pancake swap drip BUSD was 685K, and now it is at 735K. What does that mean? That means people are either using the liberation contract, or they're going straight to pancake swap and they are adding liquidity to this, and they're taking it away from the faucet, or they're selling their drip in their account, whatever it is. Point being, we can see where the money's going, and we still have a lot of single drip on the side. So when we look at the drip garden contract balance, this at one stage was up around 800,000. It got up to 516,000, and now we've lost about 40,000 LPs. Not lost, but they're in here. They're in people's wallets. So if you didn't get a chance to build a large garden allocation when this first launched, now is the opportunity, because all of these people are going to be playing the farm the way it's meant to be played. And again, nothing wrong with that, but that's going to benefit only people that have large amounts of drip USD to allocate to start getting a high payout in pigs. The play for the dolphins, the guppies, is to not worry about this right now and instead focus on other areas that could have high yield. So if you're sitting with some of these other assets, if you got some stables, start building your dogs position. So this is a strategy I'm going to be going with. Building dogs. And in a bear market, you should technically not be holding anything other than stables and blue chips that you believe will appreciate in value. That's what they do in the traditional finance. They move to dollars and they sell out of everything else, and they hold those dollars and wait for an opportunity to buy those assets. So if you got some other altcoins, then not financial advice, of course, but I would say sell those positions unless they're, your blue chips, and then park them in stables, right? And while you're in the stables, you are now earning dogs, and you can stake those dogs and bring down your loyalty tax score. So this is the play that I'm talking about for the non-whales, is to accumulate dog positions as in as many ways as possible. Even selling your altcoins, shitcoins that you're not into to get and buy dogs at launch would be a better play. The drip BUSD is still a good play, but what's better is if you are not a whale is to build up that position. So meaning don't claim your drip from the drip faucet to try to move over here. You're just going to end up getting a 10% claim tax and then a 1% tax to get into the drip BUSD farm if you have enough BUSD to do so. But if not, you're gonna have to sell some of your drip. So you're just taxing yourself to try to build a position in here in which you don't have a chance to build out a high amount of drip BUSD. It's better to hold the drip because I personally believe drip will appreciate after we see the layer 2 and all the other utility come on board and we get buy pressure coming in. Right now, drip is stagnant because there is no buy pressure. Just a quick message, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. This helps bring brand awareness to the channel as well as all Forex Shark related projects. Thank you. We pretty much had the same amount of sell pressure. Let's pull that up. So for a while now, we've seen about a max of around 250, 200K, we'll say on average, of sell pressure. It's obviously variable, but anywhere from 100 to 200K, like on average, would be a good amount to say that we've seen. And then whenever we got a pump, you see the green candles up here, a large amount of drip that came in, it really shot the price up, but it got eaten up very quickly. And there's gonna always be a lot of sell pressure from these max out wallets until the layer 2 comes in and an incentive for them not to sell is created. So that's why I'm saying it's better for the non-whales to build a drip position and again build this garden position, because the garden is still sitting relatively flat. It's gone down, but the price, the lowest that we saw for an LP was 768, and we're sitting right now at 868 or so, and that was back in that big dip down to $4 in July. So if you accumulate or build your garden position, then you'll be better poised for when the emission rates change for these farms, because guarantee they will change. It's going to go up and down. And like I said in other videos, the macro environment says we're either in winter or we're in spring. And either way, nothing big happens in either of those. And if we're in winter, then there's another leg down, and you want to be in these stable farms for sure. If we're in spring, then you could possibly get a couple little bounces here and there. But the go-to strategy, in my humble opinion, is building positions in the other farms. So my personal go-to is going to be, like Forex mentioned in here, dogs BUSD, because the bulk of people will be in the auto compounding dogs BNB. So since this one automatically auto compounds and builds your position into the dogs BNB pool, you can actually build a position in dogs BUSD that may have a higher APR. or even single asset staking dogs. And the reason I say dogs is because this is the gameplay, in my opinion, because pigs are meant to be sold, right? You can actually buy pigs and hold them without staking them in the pig pen, and you can sell them immediately. Dogs are not. That's why that's the go-to. So dogs, in my opinion, are going to appreciate more than the pigs will, because it's going to be harder, quote unquote, to sell dogs due to the tax. Pigs are not meant to be sold in regards to getting your dividends, but dogs will have this variable tax score that you can, different people will be willing to sell at different levels. So depending on how quickly you build dog positions and get your wallet tax score down and your loyalty score down, then you can actually create some decent income, even if you're being hit with a 70% tax or 60% tax or whatever, if you're actually building out or getting printed out dogs in some of these farms. So it depends on what you have on the sidelines. But if you're sitting on these other assets, or you plan on in the bear market, which is of course not financial advice, but what you should do is buy these blue chips, so that as you increase your position in ETH, BTC, and even Cake, because you get to basically leverage Cake, then you get paid out in dogs in that, and you're not planning on selling these until the next bull run. So this is a great place to park capital as well if you're bullish on these blue chips, and if you do believe that we are near the bottom or in the bottom of the bear market. So that's my personal take on what I am going to do. So what I've been doing, just to show you guys full disclosure, is I have been building up my plants, and I stopped for the last 2 weeks. I was doing my 40-hour claim, and then it's because I still have to take profits because I'm paying my bills now with crypto. Just about $1,000 a month to $1,200 a month is all I take out. So the last 2 weeks, instead of coming from the garden, I just actually took the profits from Drip and did 4 claims over 2 weeks, and that was enough. So now I'm actually building up my plant bag, and I believe again that this is the best time because people will continue to take profits, or at least sell their seeds to get the Drip USD to move it over into the farm. So this is the best time to get into the farm, because we will see another leg down as we get closer. Will we get back to here? I don't know, but the lower it goes, the more capital, or the more position you can gain with the same amount of capital. So DCAing into the garden right now is a great play. And I believe Ray said something like that. He's doing like $1,000 a day into the garden. So the goal is to really not have to sell your garden, or not even break it apart, or take profits in such a way that you keep your sizable garden position. But right now, I know a lot of the whales are moving a lot of their assets out. So therefore, they're going to stop getting paid that 3% or that big high yield, because they're taking profits and they're claiming basically every day, or maybe every 8 hours or every other day, whatever. But the point is, once you start claiming, you will see a hit in your garden, and anybody else that's compounding can surpass you. So that's my big secret there, and hope it made some sense to you guys. So again, the TLDR, a wrap up, is focused on the single assets and any of the stable farms and pools, or stable coin farms that you might have, and build your dog position so that you can have the ability to sell dogs as needed. Because the reason why I'm saying this is because theoretically, the people that are not whales, if you're thinking like me, you're looking for a way to build financial freedom in the short term. So you have a long-term vision of, yes, getting to be a whale and having long-term financial freedom, but you may be looking at ways right now to supplement your income, to enjoy a vacation, to take profits or whatever. So I'm saying short-term as in people that are not willing to play the long game and max out a wallet like in the Drip Faucet and wait 3 years, or in this wait another year or 2 years. You want like maybe 3 months or something like that, a way to get a couple $100 extra per month while still increasing your position. So that's who I'm referring to when you're not a whale. You could technically not be a whale and have whale long-term mindset, and that's cool as well. But for me, the goal is to use this income now, not 10 years from now, but still continue to build my position. Even Forex said that as well. He said the rich people actually leverage their assets and live off of 3 to 5% of the dividends and yields. So I'm trying to show a strategy where you can actually take profits now and use that to live off of. And I believe that can come from the sale of dogs, even with that high tax. And if you still have a position in the dog pound, even if you're selling at that high tax, you're selling back to yourself in a way, because you're going to get the profits of whatever's left. And then that tax goes to all the ones that are in the auto compounding and earning the dividends from the taxes. So it's kind of a win-win if you have decent positions in some of these other ones. So clearly, if you don't have any additional capital and you don't have any of these positions, then the go-to strategy is just to build your drip faucet for sure. And then, of course, I believe to build the drip garden. I believe drip will see a price appreciation, like I said, when the 200,000 per month or per day sell pressure is removed and the whales have a reason to stay in the system. And I think that will come into play, as Forex said, with layer 2 and the next bull run. So you want to build that position now, because there will be another leg up in crypto. We just don't know when. So the next bull run could be in 6 months, or it could be in 2 years, or it could be in 2 months. Like, we really don't know. But if you have your build your positions now, that's the key, and not claiming from drip to try to build a small position in the pig pen, because building your drip position is going to be even better. That's my personal opinion on it, of course. All right. I hope you found this valuable. And if you did, you know the drill. Hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.